Most people think they're going to achieve their goals through sheer willpower alone. They think motivation's going to carry them when life gets hard. They get exhausted and when everything is falling apart. But here's the truth that nobody wants to hear. Motivation is the spark. Habits, they're the fire. And if you don't build the right systems now, you're setting yourself up to be one of those who quits when it matters most. Not because you're weak, but because you never built the foundation that makes success automatic. For those that don't know, I'm Jim. And for the last decade, I've worked with thousands of people chasing elite standards. Military recruits, train ranks, athletes, and high performers. And I've seen the same pattern over and over again. Two people, they've got the same goal. They've got the same dream, the same ambition, the same mission. But 6 months later, one's nailing it and the other's given up. And here's what most people get wrong. They think the difference is talent, genetics, or luck. And I've been in the room with both types of people. And I can tell you exactly what separates them. And it ain't what you think. But before I break that down, you need to understand something. It's going to sound controversial. Every person who walks into a gym, they have the same goal. They want to get in shape. Every entrepreneur starting out a business, they want to build the same thing, a successful business. Every recruit on day one, they want to earn that beret. Winners and losers have the same goals. So what's the actual difference? The difference is the daily system they built before they got started. The habits they locked in when no one was watching. The structure they created that made the hard stuff automatic. Because here's what I see time and time again. People rock up thinking they're ready because they did a bit of prep. They smashed a few workouts. They followed a few random workouts on YouTube, Instagram, followed a few military prep experts, but they never built a system. They never made it a non-negotiable and a part of their identity. They relied on motivation. And when motivation runs out, especially when life gets hard, it gets busy, when your body's tired, hanging out, when your mind's questioning everything, that's when your system kicks in, or it don't. And if it doesn't, you are done. But look, here's the belief shift that you need to lock and stay. Your results are not a product of your goals. They're a product of your systems. I need to say that again. Listen, write it down. This is critical. Your results are not a product of your goals. They're a product of your systems. Now, I'm not saying goals don't matter. They do. But goals are for people who care about winning once. Systems are for people who care about winning day in, day out. Think about it like this. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. So the questions you need to ask yourself right here, right now is this. Can my current habits carry me to my desired future? Not your intentions, not your goals, your habits. Because if you want the outcome, but you're not willing to live the lifestyle, you're torturing yourself. And it will expose that gap faster than anything else. Now let me tell you a story that proves this. I spent years as a PTI and then as an exercise rehab instructor at Linson Commando, working with people who were struggling on tests or had picked up injuries during their training. And here's what I noticed. The ones who made it back, the ones that went on to achieving their Green Beret, they weren't always the fittest. They weren't always the strongest, but they all had that one thing in common. They had systems. They knew how to show up when it was hard. They knew how to get back when they had a setback. They didn't rely on that feeling of motivation. They relied on their structure. They relied on their systems. One recruit that I worked with came in with a knee injury and later down the line had to go for an ACL reconstruction. He was gutted, thought the dream was over. He was late in training on the commando tests. The odds were genuinely stacked against him because, as we know, ACL is a bar to entry, and MBOSS was looking inevitable. But instead of sulking, he built a system. Every morning, he'd do his rehab exercises, no excuses. He'd track his progress in a notebook. Every single day, he turned up. He visualized himself back in training on those commando tests. He visualized getting handed that Green Beret. And when he got back, he didn't just survive, he thrived and is a Royal Marine Commando today. And that's because his habits had been established. His system was locked in. Compare that to people who came in with the same injury, but no system. They do their rehab. They do it when they felt like it. They'd skip sessions because they were tired. They weren't in the mood. And when they got back into training, if they got back into training, guess what happened? They crumbled because they never built the foundation. Right, so how do you actually build a habit that stacks? Now, this comes from James Clear, author of Atomic Habits. And it's one of the most powerful frameworks I've ever come across. Every habit goes through 4 stages. First, you've got the cue. Second, the craving. Third, the response. And fourth, the reward. And if you want to build a habit that actually lasts, you need to make it obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. Let me break that down in a way you can actually use. Make it obvious. Now, if you want to train every morning, lay your kit the night before. Put your trainers by the door. Set your alarm across the room so you literally have to get out of bed to turn it off. Prime your environment. Make the first action easy. Make it attractive. Stack your new habit on top of something that you already do. You know, if you brush your teeth, stand on one leg. After you make your morning coffee, do your mobility. After you finish your breakfast, review your plan for the day. Habit stacking makes a new behavior feel natural. It makes it easy. This is the 2-minute rule. If you're struggling to get to the gym, just commit to putting your trainers on and commit to walking out the door. And I can guarantee you'll get in your car and you'll make it to the gym because the heaviest weight at the gym is the front door. Once you're there, you'll train. But you've got to make the starting point easy. Now make it satisfying. Every time you complete a session, tick it off. Build a winning streak. Behaviors that get immediately rewarded get repeated. Behaviors that get immediately punished, they get avoided. So reward yourself for showing up, even if the session was hard, even if you didn't feel like it. Now here's the kicker that most people don't understand. The effects of your habits are not instant. They are delayed. You won't see results tomorrow. You probably won't see them next week. But time will magnify whatever you feed it. Get 1% better each day. And in a year, you'll be 37 times better. And that's not theory. That's compound interest applied to your life. And that's what separates the people who achieve their goals from the ones that don't. It's not the one big moment. It's 1,000 of small steps compounded over time. The question is, are you making those decisions? So what does this mean for you? Let's make it practical. First, ask yourself this question right here and be honest. Because if you're skipping sessions, you're eating like rubbish, you're staying up late, doom scrolling your phone, those habits, they're not aligned with your goals. And you know it. So here's what to do. Step 1, identify your upstream habits. These are your habits that create the ripple effect. Sleep, nutrition, training, reflection, recovery. These are the upstream from everything else. Fix these and everything else gets easier. Step 2, build a system, not a goal. Don't just say, I want to get fit. Say, I train 5 days a week, no matter what. That's a system. That's an identity. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. So ask yourself this. Am I voting for the person that I want to be? Step 3, just make it easy. Make it easy to start. Reduce the scope, but stick to the schedule. If you're struggling to get your workouts in, commit to just putting your trainers on and stepping outside. Once you're out there, you'll train. But you've got to master the art of getting started. And step 4, you need to track your progress. Get a notebook. Write down every session. Visualize your progress. Get a visualization board. Build a streak. The act of tracking makes habits satisfying, and satisfaction will drive repetition. Step 5, have a plan for getting back on track. You're going to slip up. That's life. But the secret to winning is knowing how to lose, because failure is feedback. Don't just throw in the towel. Find a way to bend, not break. Miss a morning session? Do it in the evening. Miss the evening session? Do it tomorrow. Can't do a full workout? Do 10 minutes. Consistency enlarges ability. And you need to make sure you stay consistent more than they need intensity. Now, here's the final piece that ties everything together. Reflection and review is the meta habit above all. Every week, sit down. Ask yourself this. What went well? What didn't? What am I going to change next week? And this is how you upgrade your system. This is how you evolve. Because habits are not just a finish line to be crossed. They're a lifestyle to be lived. Right, legends, let's bring this one home. If you're serious about your goals, stop guessing. Stop just doom scrolling and following those random workouts on YouTube. Stop relying on motivation. Start building a system. And look, if you don't know where to start, that's exactly what we do here at Tier 1 Coaching. We've trained thousands of aspiring Royal Marines, elite athletes, people going on arduous courses. We've seen what works and we know what doesn't. And we've built a system that removes all of that guesswork and puts you on the direct route to your goals. Head over to my Instagram, Jim_Tier1. Hit the link in my bio, download one of our free resources to level up today. And if you want the full system, the coaching, the structure, the accountability, then drop me a message. Because here's the hard truth. You can keep doing what you're doing and just hope for the best. Just hope it works. Or you can get coached by the people who have trained the very best of the best. Now that's your call. That ain't mine. But remember this. Motivation is the spark. Habits are the fire. And the fire you build now, they'll carry you through the hardest moment of your life. So get started, build the system, and earn what you're after right now. Team, I'll see you in the next video. And remember this, a winner never quits.